More and more schools are allowing teachers to carry guns in the classroom. More teachers are also taking training courses to learn how to handle and shoot a gun.
It's hard to believe that kids as young as preschool age are already getting used to going through active shooter drills, learning what to do in the case of a shooter being on campus.
And then, of course, schools are using technology to control campus access. We've been talking about this. More and more schools using facial recognition technology on guests and people who try to gain access to the campus or buildings. So, unfortunately, school shootings have become all too common in today's world.
So really, how do you talk about the tragedies like these and maybe the drills that are happening at school and navigate those conversations? Dr. Sharon Thompson is joining us. She's from Central Phoenix Obstetrics and Gynecology with some of the ways that parents can help to handle that, because it's a pretty stressful concept. It's pretty heavy for a young child to understand.
It definitely is, and your response should be age appropriate. So, you know, obviously the smallest kids will know less, and your teenagers will be able to have a more in-depth conversation. So you really want to be age appropriate. The other important thing to know is you also want to be personality appropriate, because some kids want more details. A 9 or 8-year-old may ask lots of questions, and a 12-year-old may not want to know anything. They may want to do more avoidance. So definitely pay attention to your child and follow their cues.
Boy, it's such a different time. I remember when I was a little kid, all we had to worry about was fire drills. And we didn't even take that seriously. It was a chance to go outside the building. I'm sure it's more frightening for parents to even think about something like this.
Yeah, I know. It's so stressful for all of us. And that's another thing parents should remember, that this is stressful for them as well. And one of the major things that you can do is not immerse yourself in every bit of news that comes on. So limiting the amount of information that comes into your household, and if you can for your younger children, that'll be very helpful, because all these things increase stress for all of us. So it's so important that we, you know, one, avoid if you can, and then manage the information. So pick a time, and you know, you've heard me talk about cars are great times, commutes, because it begins and it ends, and you can't perseverate on it. And so that's a great time to ask your kid, hey, how are you feeling about this? What have you heard? What are you thinking about? So lead with questions so that you can find out what the kids know, how concerned they are. You can get a sense of if they're worried or anxious, and then you can go from there. Let that guide you.
Yeah, and on a day like today, when we'll see some of those images coming up from Parkland on this tragic anniversary, kids do ingest that. Whether we think that they're paying attention because they're in the room and maybe don't seem like they're engaging in it, they do, and that can be scary. So how do you know if maybe that's becoming more serious, like resulting in a little bit of anxiety or something that needs to be addressed?
So you definitely watch behaviors. And you mentioned, you know, kids may hover, and that may be a sign that they have questions. So if normally you're doing the dishes and the kids are doing video games, but today they're in the kitchen and they're hanging around, that's a sign they want to talk about something. So maybe that's when you ask a question, ask them what they're thinking about. But you look for other behaviors. Is your kid getting the old stomach ache, right? Is that happening more and more? Are they cranky? Are they criticizing their siblings or the teachers? That might be a sign of anxiety. And then, of course, there are more concerning behaviors, wanting to sleep all the time, wanting not to go to school, telling lies when your kid formally didn't do that. And so those are things that put your radar up and say, hey, maybe we need to get a little bit more help.
And I guess with the older kids too, it can be their job to be eyes and ears to keep others safe, so it is important for them to be thinking about it.
And parents don't always have all the answers, so it's okay to reach out for help.
It's okay to say, I don't know. And remember, music and art and physical activity help us all feel better and can be distracting.
Good advice.
Dr. Thompson, thank you. We always enjoy having you.
Thank you.